Hey, what's up, nerds? Welcome to the first Mushbrains Zoom meeting.
Social distancing!
I'm Alan Christian.
I'm Gerald James.
And we figured it was time to unmothball the channel. I mean, the channel's had activity.
Some asshole in a pleather coat hijacked it for a while. So I figured maybe we should, get back to what we do.
Yeah, we should let people know that this isn't just that.
We do more than character bits.
Yeah. And no better time to do it than right now, days late to the PS5 reveal party.
We really should have done a live reaction, but here we are.
Yeah.
We have jobs. We have jobs. We don't have lives, but we've got jobs.
Yeah. No one has lives right now. And if you do, you're kind of an asshole. Just to alienate anybody who's, not staying at home. Okay. So, just right off the top, gut reaction to this whole event.
Gut reaction? Solid B+ effort. Solid B+? Yeah.
B+ all you give it? Okay. I'm probably in that same territory. I thought I was just underwhelmed because I care less. But
no.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, I mean, of course, even though I wasn't watching leaks or anything, so I kind of went in blind.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the announcements were expected. There was a couple that, were, holy shit, I didn't see that coming, but not many.
I don't know if there's anything, granted, I was kind of following what people were talking about, not actively, but just saw it in comment sections, what people were expecting from this show. So nothing really threw me for a loop. But I don't know. I think my overall reaction was like, this is good. This is solid. This is going to sell somebody on it, but not me. Which is not a knock to any. There's definitely things in this that I'm like, me playing that is going to happen.
Right. Right.
But nothing in here made me go, this is day one. Even if my favorite things on this were launch titles, which they're not all going to be. I think one. I mean, we don't know what is a launch title, but
we don't even know when launch date is.
Exactly. So. But I think Spider-Man Miles Morales is probably going to be launch or very close.
Right.
But that's not going to make me rush out and buy it. It looks good. I'm going to play that, but I haven't beaten Spider-Man yet, so
we're going down the list. We're going down the list. So
yeah.
Let's not talk individual games yet.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into it. The intro to this made me a little more hopeful for some feature announcements.
Yeah, same here. Like whenever they were going through their victory lap, which of course, you do whenever you're doing a new console announcement. Mm-hmm. At the same time, the moment it popped up with 1994 or whatever it said, I was like, backwards compatibility?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Are we starting with backwards compatibility to the PS1? And then they were like, no.
No, it's just a retrospective, which was cool retrospective. It was fun. But it made me, my initial thought, and probably a lot of people's, was they're dropping the bomb on us. We're going to get to play all of this. And no, they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes either.
They got me with a couple of fake outs. So that's why I'm not putting it in an A category. Because some of those fake outs just stung a little.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because after their victory lap, they hit me with their second fake out with that Rockstar logo. And I was like, holy shit, are they already doing GTA 6? And they're like, nope.
Some people, that was a rumor that was going to happen, and so that was my initial thought. Is they're doing it, and so, that would have been a banger to open up with, because that GTA 5 at this point is 7 years old.
it's going into its third console.
Yes.
Like its third generation for
Yeah.
this one game. This has outmeaned Skyrim by this point.
Yeah.
It's I can't do it. And if anyone, I'll go ahead and alienate our audience even further. If you pay money for Grand Theft Auto 5 again, I will come to your house and shake my fist at you.
Now, maybe I misunderstood what they were saying with it. Grand Theft Auto Online is free to anyone who has the console, but 5, is that a purchase or is that also?
They didn't specify.
Yeah.
That's the worst part, because they said Grand Theft Auto 5 Online was free for PlayStation Plus members at launch. So what about the single-player game? Because that's all I give a shit about, because the online is trash. Yeah, the online, like, unless you're willing to dump money into it, is just a hellhole. Yeah. And I'm not, like, I don't care. So, I mean, it's cool that they're doing that, but also not an opener, man. Yeah, that's the thing. If they like had that somewhere in the middle of the show, that'd be fine. But for them to be like, first thing we're going to talk about is a 7-year-old game. Yeah, it just felt so off. Honestly, that's not even like Bugsnax feels better here than this. Like, this is a press release, not a. Like, this is a, you stick it on your YouTube. This is a fucking tweet, dude. Yeah, this is a tweet, or maybe you throw a trailer on your YouTube channel on a Tuesday. Because, I mean, they didn't show what would be upgraded and enhanced. Yeah, they literally showed PS4 footage. Yeah. It's like, okay, why do I give a fuck, dude? Yeah, just a snoozer of an opener. Then they followed it up with Spider-Man Miles Morales. They caught me back up. Like, I sunk pretty low with them opening with that. And then they're like, oh, shit, here's new Spider-Man. I'm like, now we're talking. Yeah, absolutely. And it looks great. This is not an expansion to PS4 Spider-Man, but kind of an expansion. It's a standalone game that uses the same engine and everything's up-resed, and it looks fantastic. The best comparison is with Uncharted 4. They did Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which was a story of 2 of the other characters from Uncharted without Nathan Drake. And it was I want to say it released at $40. And, you know, it's a decent-sized game, but it's still kind of, it's bite-sized. And it's not Uncharted 5. It's its own thing that, you know, didn't take as much to put out. And I get that same feeling from Miles Morales. Yeah. And it looks good. It looks like they're taking advantage of the new technology with it. You know, obviously they're not pushing its limits, but it looks better than Spider-Man PS4. Right. And I think what we'll see with it, because I do expect this one to be at launch, because it didn't take as much of a turnaround to make all that. So I do expect this to come out day and date. Yeah. And I think it's going to show some of the features that they're really excited for, such as the cut and load time, pretty much the depth of draw distances, things like that. Yeah. That's what they wanted to get across with this game. I'm here for it. Yeah, it looks good. Honestly, like, I kind of hope that this just becomes the cycle with these Spider-Man games too. Like, give me a tentpole Peter Parker game, and then follow it up with a Miles, like a Miles standalone. I'd be okay with that. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. Looks good. It's one of the things that I'm most interested in on this, but not a system seller for me. It's not going to push units. Yeah. Whenever I eventually get the system, I'm going to grab it. But, you know. Following on from that, something I don't care about, and you probably don't either, but a lot of people do. A lot of people love some Gran Turismo. And Gran Turismo 7 looks good. Like, it's really pretty. So a couple of things here. One, I do kind of care about, because back in the day, like when I had my original PlayStation, I had Gran Turismo. I played the hell out of it. Yeah. I played it on PS2. I played it on PS3. It was only until this generation with 4 that I never picked it up. And that's because, admittedly, Forza kind of spoiled me.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't go back to what they had on Gran Turismo with the PS4. But with the new Gran Turismo, I'll probably pick it up, especially because, honestly, I'm going to be hungry for titles when this thing launches.
Yeah.
So if this is another, holiday release,
yeah,
I'll definitely pick it up.
Did they give a window on this one?
I don't remember, but I think so.
It'd be a banger to be a launch title. I feel
like it should.
It's core PlayStation, so I feel like this is something you should be targeting, because right now the only thing that I could pretty much guarantee would be launch window is Spider-Man, and that's, like I said, that's not a system seller. I think for a lot of people, Gran Turismo 7 would be a system seller.
Yeah. I think Gran Turismo 7, Spider-Man, and then, of course, you've got your third-party titles that'll be in there. I'm probably expecting maybe a 15 to 20 game launch.
Yeah.
So
that'd be solid.
Having two strong first-party contenders in Gran Turismo and Spider-Man would be good.
Yeah. I honestly don't think we're going to get that fleshed out of a launch slate, just because of the state of the world right now.
Well, I think that what you'll see is you'll still get about 15 games, but when I say 15, I'm including 5 third-party sports titles.
Yeah.
So it's really just 10 games plus those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 5 of those are probably going to be indie games like Bugsnax.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
And here's the thing about Gran Turismo as well. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Racing games are fucking cheating. They always look good because the way they're designed, you don't have as much to program in a racing game, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can make it look fucking phenomenal, and they usually do.
And especially if you're doing just circuit tracks, unless you're doing if you're not doing a big open world, run around and find street races kind of thing, which I haven't played Gran Turismo in a while, but I don't think they do that.
No, they're all circuit races.
Yeah, you can. That's just it's just set dressing at that point.
Oh yeah,
you can really just lay out what people see and how much of it they see and how good it looks. But
so if they can get this at launch at, I'll say, a good 4K 60, that it's going to look phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, we got Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart.
Here's the thing. I personally have not played a whole lot of Ratchet and Clank games. They came out a little after I got more into mature games, I guess.
Yeah.
But I hear they're great.
Yeah.
I'll probably download the one for PS4 just to give it a shot at this point, because I probably own it and don't realize it. I don't know. But the thing that I think a lot of people missed from this particular presentation with Ratchet and Clank, of all the games they showed, to me, this was the most next gen.
Yeah, it looked good.
It looked like watching a cartoon movie or whatever. The ray tracing, especially the lighting off of Clank, that was really beautiful. But the thing that no one's pointed out is those rifts. Every time they jumped into a rift, it was maybe 2 seconds, and they were in a completely different level time.
Oh, yeah. There's no loading time, hardly.
So,
it's just...
If you wanted to show off what they're doing with the solid-state drive, that was the game. That was boom, completely new level. Nothing popped in. Just bam, you're going. And, there were times where, when they did the gameplay section right after the trailer.
Yeah.
Where it was rift straight into battle.
Yeah.
So there was nothing having to load in.
Yeah, I feel like people aren't talking about this as much as they should be. It looks... I don't care. I'm not a Ratchet Clank fan, so I don't want to be it looks great. But, on a technical level, yes, it's
right.
It's way more impressive than you would have thought.
And that's why, like, of everything they showed, it was the most impressive game to me because it showed off what they're doing with the system.
Yeah.
Everything else I could look at and be like, okay, this might be really good. It might look better. It might play better than Ratchet and Clank. But with what they showed, that was the one that made me go, yep, there we are.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, is this going to be, did they give a window on this one?
They didn't give a window, but I wouldn't expect 2 Insomniac games launching same time.
True.
So I'm going to put Ratchet and Clank probably like March or April.
Yeah, it'd be a good spring release. I don't think they need it for launch, but yeah, it'd be a good like early thing to come out. After that, we got the Square Enix. They announced this as a PS5 exclusive, built specifically for the PS5. The Project Athia.
The thing I hate about that is it looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It looked beautiful for the very small bit they showed us.
Yeah.
Has no title. It looked like it barely had any gameplay. I don't expect to see this game until 2023.
Yeah.
So why bother? You know, it's pretty much Square coming out being like, look, we're giving PlayStation 5 an exclusive, and that's all I can fucking say. Peace.
Yeah, I feel like as pretty as it looked, it's just like, if this isn't something that you're coming out like hard hitting in the first year,
yeah,
what's the point? Because by the time this releases, we'll probably have seen a dozen games just as pretty,
right?
At least. So cool, like great, you're doing that.
Now, one thing that wasn't said with its announcement, but kind of put on Twitter afterwards, is that apparently this game does have a collection of like fiction genre writers and other such people who are working on the story. So it's not something coming out of Square Enix in-house, which means you're not going to get really convoluted and stupid stories. Sorry,
okay,
Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts, but it's true.
I mean, has there been a good, like, solid Square Enix story since Final Fantasy X?
I mean, from their core crew, no.
Yeah.
From outsiders, yeah, Nier Automata was awesome.
Yeah, that's not them, though. That's that was Platinum made that, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they've published some really good things with good stories, but I don't think that they've been in-house turning out great things since Sakaguchi left that team. So
pretty much.
Yeah. Moving on from that, we had Stray.
This is where we started to get weird with things, and I was happy about that.
Yeah, I like a good weird what the fuck is this game kind of thing. And, you know,
I liked how much time Indies had in this presentation.
Yeah.
In Stray, this wasn't like a new, fresh announcement. We had heard of Stray before. It's an indie team. It's been going on, and they've been keeping their fans up to date on what's happening.
Yeah.
The one thing that did surprise me was after the fact learning this was PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe if it's coming out this fall, they don't want to like just have lose money by it just being on PS5.
Well, understandable, especially if you're a small development company. You don't want to put put your game on something that is going to have at best an install base of 2 million by the end of the year.
Right. So it makes sense. And I mean, I didn't see anything about it that made me say, oh, this is only possible on PS5.
Yeah.
But that did make it seem a little bit more weird than it was being showcased here.
Yeah. So at the same time, like, why put it on this? Yeah. Whatever. It's fine.
But I'm all in. I want to play as a cat in a cyberpunk, like, humans are dead world. So
yeah, humans are dead and we're rubbing up on robots, I guess.
Throw that out for $20 at launch and I'm in.
The whole gameplay loop is trying to get robots to pet you.
Probably.
After that, we had the what was this? The introduction DS5.
Oh yeah. I mean, throughout the entire thing, of course, they were doing like these really rad, just computer graphics between clips. But a couple of them, they were just throwing in sneak peeks. So they showed off the PS or the DS5 or DualShock 5. I don't think that's even what's called anymore.
No, it's the DualSense.
DualSense.
That's the first one. Yeah. We're looking at somebody's notes that they did a timestamp on. So, but yeah, they showed the DualSense, which we've already seen. But they showed the features, showed the triggers, and just ran through everything on it. I like this controller. That's it.
I was waiting for a little bit more. I like the features, but I'm gonna have to fill out my hand before I can, decide how I'm going to live with this for the next 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's like the DualShock 4. I feel like finally made the PlayStation controller good. so like going from that and then just being like, okay, we finally got this model right. Let's throw that out.
We've got the design down pat. Start fresh.
Yeah, because I mean, the DualShock 4 had its faults. That light never going off and just draining the hell out of your battery. That touchpad not really being anything worth anyone's time, but it felt good.
Yeah.
Like, it felt good in your hands. It was the best thing Sony's ever done as far as a controller. So them shifting gears is a little worrying, just as far as the ergonomics. Just because, like, a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but the original PlayStation controller has shitty ergonomics, and that's fine for 1995. That's acceptable. But the fact that we just kept doing that same thing for like nearly 20 years was inexcusable.
I mean, I had no problem by the time it got to PS3, which I've got here in my hands, and this was fine.
It's the same torturous thing you'd been working with for 10 years.
Trying to see if I've got my PS2 controller up here too, so I could show you that. No, they had like better curvature on the back and things like that. They did fix a few things.
I know they did some, but like just not enough.
No, that's fair.
It was better than the Nintendo 64 controller and the Saturn controller. But everything was, so they were just like, ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like, no, it's not how this works.
And this was, you got to keep in mind, the PS2 was also at the same time. I think that's when we had the, was it PS2 or PS3? It might have been PS3, I don't know anymore. Life is meaningless. But the fat hamburger Xbox controller.
Yeah, that would have been PS2 era, yeah.
Yeah, so like that was their competition, dude. Like...
Yeah, that and the GameCube controller. The GameCube controller was a great controller.
The fuck you say?
Yeah.
That little yellow nubbin? I don't know what the hell was going on with that, man.
That yellow nub was a questionable design decision, but other than that, everything was fantastic.
That button layout with the big old green button, little baby red button, it was weird, dude.
No, it made sense. Like, that one was, it was intuitive. It was great.
I didn't feel it. But you're right. The DS4 is a fantastic controller. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, DualSense lives up to the heritage.
Yes. Hopefully, they've learned lessons and aren't just going to throw those things out in order to make this fancy thing. That was a lot more mileage than I thought we would get out of the controller conversation.
Right. But then again, we personally haven't discussed much of this.
No, we haven't.
Now.
Yeah. I missed this one. I was otherwise occupied as this thing was going on, and I tried to go back and hit things, but I don't know what Returnal is other than a bad name.
Returnal is an amazing name. Shut your mouth. It's Eternal and Return combined.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I just had to make sure. Just
Uh-huh.
mansplain that for you.
I get the pun.
It's not a pun. It's a portmanteau too.
I mean,
So
it's both.
the trailer itself showed a little bit of gameplay with some shooting. The shooting looked all right. But it looks like it's going to be a third person kind of in a roguelike vein. So, of course, I'm in. Because the whole thing is, she dies, she comes back, but every time the planet changes her a little bit more. Don't know what that means, but fuck it, we'll find out. So I'm on board. Graphically, it looked really good with like the facial animations and everything. So, yeah, I'm interested. We'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. Then we've got Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
Super excited about Sackboy.
Looks like fun. I never played Little Big Planet, but yeah, this looks like a good thing.
Well, of course, Little Big Planet, there's no need for it anymore. Meaning Molecule's got dreams. So Little Big Planet was about creation. Now, I'm just glad that they realize they've got this cute little mascot. So make a family-friendly game with them.
Yeah. We're loading down on the mascots on this.
A little bit. But what you've got here is essentially Sackboy 3D World. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's immediately what I thought. And I'm into it. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but looks like a good time.
When it hits $20, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
plus, it's got 4-player co-op, and you don't see that much these days. So
no, you don't. No, especially outside of Nintendo. So
yeah.
Destruction All Stars.
I could care less.
Yeah, looked like
it might be fun, but it looks generic. And
somebody described it as Twisted Metal meets Rocket League, and except not interesting.
Maybe that's where they wanted to go with it.
Yeah.
Then again, it could drop. Early reviews could hit, and everybody be like, "Oh my god, this is the most addictive gameplay loop ever." And who knows?
Yeah, sure. If it gets,
but from what they showed, from what they showed, though, I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, me either. Kenna Bridge of Spirits, also one of the ones I missed.
It looks cute. The graphic style reminded me a lot of, I don't know, kind of early Xbox 360 stuff with Fable, Cameo, stuff like that. Except, of course, polished and next gen.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how there's these little Furby-like things that follow you around. So it's got like a Pikmin element, I guess.
Okay.
I'll need to see more, but it looked cute. Looked fun.
Cool. Goodbye Volcano High was the most questionable thing to put on this.
Cool.
I hated it.
I mean, I'm not going to fault anyone who is looking forward to it, but
sure.
To me, it's just like we've seen quite a few games like this, but I don't know if it's going to play out well. I don't need these little story-driven coming-of-age tales anymore.
No.
Especially with dinosaur furries. So
yeah, exactly. It's like, this looks like, I'm sure somebody put a lot of time into it, and it's their little project, so I don't want to be too mean, but it looks like indie trash.
A lot of people put a lot of time into Batman versus Superman. I'm still going to rip it apart. I don't care.
True. It's true. Like, I mean, I don't want to just jump the gun and judge something, but certainly is not for me. This might be for somebody, and if you're into it, good for you. And if somebody earnestly puts time into something that they're really passionate about, I hope that they can find an audience, but I ain't in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's an audience, but I'm not part of this demo, so
so
there we are.
Yep. Sorry if you are, good on you, whatever. Hope it's great. Oddworld threw me for a loop. Not in that this is like mind-bendingly interesting looking, but there hasn't been an Oddworld game. I mean, they did New and Tasty? Is that what they called it? They upgraded Abe's Odyssey, but there hasn't been a new Oddworld game since Stranger's Wrath.
Yeah,
which was that still the original like Xbox era? Or
I think so.
I can't remember if that was like early 360 or late Xbox era.
I'd have to do more research than I came prepared to do.
Yeah, I can't. I feel like it was like 2005.
Yeah,
I only played it on PC, so I don't remember where, and that was later down the road. I think I bought it in a Steam sale packaged with the other two. But yeah, so coming back to Abe and doing just a brand new Oddworld with a brand new gameplay loop looks phenomenal. Now, It was introduced as just being like, I can't remember exactly what the guy that introduced it said, but he was like, this is going to be a fun little game where, like, you know, if you rescue people, you're rewarded, and failing is funny. Failing is hilarious. And then they unleash a trailer that looks like a fucking Christopher Nolan film.
It did get a little dark there, but that's kind of always been the really weird balance of Oddworld. It's all about, you know, slavery and corporations running everything, and then you can fart at other mudkins.
Like, it's so goofy, but if you're actually like, the actual context of it is horrifying.
And I like that balance.
No, it's great. That's what makes me such a fan of the Oddworld games, especially Abe's Odyssey. So like, yeah, I'm all in for this. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on it other than I'm just shocked that they're doing another one.
I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'll buy it, honestly. I'll have to give it a shot. But it's coming out at a time where you're having, I guess, indie is more at the forefront now than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to put out just a straight-up 2D platformer, or 2.5D as the case may be.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
This is the time for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, God bless them. I mean, I guess I'm all about it. That I am buying. It's not a system seller for me, but that's getting bought.
I don't know. You'll be able to play it on something other than a PS5.
I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think it's going to be a system exclusive. Now this one. They didn't announce this one as the timed exclusive. But Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yeah, that is a timed exclusive.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, because I knew the other Bethesda.
Both of them. I was shocked that they were like, yeah, no, PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's a weird decision, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, fascinating. But Ghostwire Tokyo, we got this announcement at E3 last year or the year before?
It was last year.
Yeah, that's right. It was last year. And you had, what's her name? I don't remember her name, but she came out and was excited.
Adorable.
She was, and then I think she left the project.
Yeah.
But
and the trailer was a lot more. That first look trailer we saw last year was a lot more subdued.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not expecting this gameplay that we saw.
Now, is this is Tango Gameworks?
Yes.
Right? Because I don't remember. Yeah, it's a Bethesda subsidiary, and it's Shinji Mikami.
Yep.
Runs that. Yeah, after he left Capcom, he started that. Shinji Mikami, if you don't know, Resident Evil. That's his big one.
And before this, it was the Evil Within games.
Yes. I never played those, but yeah. And this looks great. This looks weird and like a blast. Like, it's kind of chaotic, so I guess it depends on how well it controls and how well the gameplay flows. But it looks like a lot of fun.
Just setting wise, enemy wise, all of that, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's going to boil down to how it plays. But one thing that I will say, there is nothing in that trailer that made me think that's next gen, baby.
Yeah, same.
So the fact that they had to wait until the next gen console reveal to show us gameplay for this, It's like, I don't see the point. But
yeah, I feel like this is more just like if production had gone faster, this would have been this gen, but it's going to end up lining up to where it's just out in that window, and there might even be just from what I mean, there might be more going on behind the scenes, and it might be a lot more complex than we're seeing. But this looks like visually, it looks like it could just be a cross-generational game.
Right.
But if they said it's a PS5 exclusive,
yeah,
I imagine that probably means not also on PS4.
Right.
We'll
see. Yeah, again, Sony did kind of clarify that some of the exclusivity windows are 3 months, some of them are multiple years. So there's no real telling here.
Yeah.
But it's weird that this is the type of stuff they're throwing money at instead of buying developers. So they're like, all right, we'll just get that game for us and that one over there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I mean, whatever works for you, I guess. It just kind of irritates me. And I mean, they've got to be. I mean, I was going to say it. I don't know. I mean, they've got to be giving the developers enough money to make it worth their while. Obviously,
I would assume
to only be on one platform. But
Bethesda's not hurting.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I mean, it's artificial.
Yeah.
The timed exclusives, like I get, and I feel like we're going to get more of this, like in this generation than the last, where people are like, this game works better on this architecture.
Yeah. The architecture is a lot more different this upcoming generation than it has been in a while.
Yeah. Which is good, and we should have a discussion about that maybe in a separate video that we can record right after this.